It's a great day to play, everybody! Welcome on into the channel, yeah! Whether it's your first time here or you are rejoining us, thank you so much for being here with us today. You are loved, you are appreciated, and you're always welcome here in this channel. Now, it has been way too long, and you can check out one of my previous videos that I'll have posted at this point to kind of find out what's going on and what our timeline is. I don't want to take too much of this video today for that, but we're going to do something a little bit more fun today. Believe it or not, my wife found me this video. So she's a big fan of the Jubilee episodes where they do like the odd man out. And so she was like, oh my God, Jubilee did a 6 BTS fans versus 1 secret hater. She's like, you have to do this. And I was like, yes, please. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be working on some other things this week. Thank you all so much. If you haven't already, please don't forget, go down, like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you know when our content comes out, so you know when our live streams happen. We love you, and I have missed you guys so, so much. You're always welcome here in this channel. But without further ado, let's check it out.
Now enjoy the episode.
Please welcome BTS.
International super boy band in the world, BTS. I literally have a tattoo of my bias on my ankle.
You're joking.
V.
Can that be for V or can that be for something else?
Okay, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay, so before we get too far into this, I should probably say how this show works. So basically, the way that this show works is they'll bring in groups of people, and then there's always an odd man out, and they have to vote as they go along in the show. I don't know if they're going to explain the rules, so I figured I'd explain it. They basically need to vote each round to kick somebody out, and at the end, basically one person gets to walk away with all the cash. I don't know if that's the way that this one is going to end up, but normally that's the way that these Jubilee ones go. So I'm kind of interested to see if the 1 secret hater, if they're actually going to find the hater, or if they're going to do a good enough job here.
We brought together 7 BTS fans.
I'm a BTS fan.
I am a BTS fan.
I am a BTS fan.
I am a BTS fan.
I'm a BTS fan.
I'm a BTS fan.
I am a BTS fan.
1 is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, he or she wins the entire prize.
So they went over it. So you didn't need my explanation at all. Just figured we'd try.
All right, so I guess we should just go around and talk about how we got into BTS.
The first person to start talking, I was gonna suspect them immediately. Right when the buzzer started, she was like, okay, guys.
I mean, that's not wrong because, okay, so if you're trying to get people off your tracks and you get everybody else talking and you have to talk less, that's not a bad strategy.
I actually started just because I wanted to see what like the hype of K-pop was, and soon after I bought tickets to their concert. It started in February, and I've been whipped ever since.
So I got into loving BTS in January.
Okay, we're gonna have a lot of pausing in here because it's like, as somebody who's fairly new to this but has done a lot, you'd think that there would be right away. So for fandom, right? You'd think maybe they'd bring up ARMY. You'd think maybe they'd bring up specific songs or specific concerts. I mean, they probably had to still do a little bit of research, right? But just saying like really, really generic things, I started watching them because I was interested in K-pop. And then, you know, I went to one of their concerts.
And like, I was like digging their fashion. Ever since, I'm like so obsessed.
Yeah, they dress great, but I was like, I don't think that's the reason you become a fan. I don't know. I just thought it was weird that he said he's a supporter because of their fashion.
So one of my best friends,
Fair enough.
her dad actually was one of the concert organizers for the Wings tour. And so she was like, hey, I have like extra tickets. And then after that, I was like,
Very
oh
cool.
my gosh, like I have to get into them. And it was just like downhill ever since then.
So do you guys like all consider yourselves like fan or ARMY? Because you know
There we
there's
go.
like a difference. You know what I mean?
I would say I'm ARMY.
I'd say I'm borderline.
I'm ARMY.
Army.
Because I'm a newer fan, I would say fan. Like actually, I'm not even like knowing of this big difference until now.
So what are your friends your age?
So here's the funny thing. I feel like they put somebody like this guy in to throw everybody off, right? You put somebody newer in that might not know as much, and then people start to suspect that individual. I think so. This is if you guys have never seen the show, it's really interesting. I've seen it quite a few times. My wife watches PewDiePie does a lot of the Jubilee reactions and stuff like that. And so we've seen a couple of them and they're always really good.
Age think about like you being Army?
I mean, most being Army, they don't really care.
Do you like openly tell them that you're in Army?
Yeah.
Well, Tay is a little, older than us, like everybody else who was in the box, and that kind of threw me off at first.
I think it's cool.
I think that stereotype is very mean, and I take it personally. I want him to vote this girl off just for saying it, because I'm older than all of them.
Cool, but even I was like, you're kind of a grown-ass man, you know what I'm saying?
Vote him off too. Vote him off too. Tired of this. Why can't a grown-ass man like BTS?
All right, we got a minute left to try to figure out.
Okay, everyone's biased.
Oh, jhope. Jhope. jungkook.
I'm double biased. Tay and Hobie.
So my ultimate bias is Jungkook. And then
Hell yeah.
I was bias wrecked by Jimin.
Hell
And then
yeah.
Yoongi is coming for me.
I feel like you have to bias every single one and then decide like who your bias is.
So you don't have a bias?
I mean, not really. I would maybe Namjoon only because he's so
Maybe.
smart. But like, well, probably
You could be OT7. Come on.
Hobie on Pep save, man. But we got 30 seconds, so Lajimolala.
Huh?
All right. I think I just figured something out.
Alan definitely wasn't giving us as much as we wanted.
Trinity. She was like emanating some type of energy next to me. 사랑해.
미안하다.
Damn, they all hit Alan.
Love you guys. Bye.
I feel like they hit him though just because he was newer, and I feel like the person that came in had to have done a lot of research, and so they wouldn't have put a newbie in there. It would be too obvious, right? It would be way too obvious if somebody just didn't know any information about them. So they probably found somebody, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the person that ends up being the secret hater is a K-pop fan. So they would know, like, even some of these people that are, like, speaking some Korean words, they would know a lot about them anyway. But maybe they're just not a fan of BTS. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
Everybody had a little too much info. Easy to slip by as just a casual army. So one of my plans were eliminate the baby armies first.
If everyone feels confident,
That's
you've already caught the mole.
No, I feel like that's a terrible strategy. Because, like, they could... Here's one thing that I think that has even happened since I've started doing it. So many people have commented that, like, I'll catch things in videos or stuff because people have seen them so many times that, like, other people don't catch. And they may be able to, like, pick out information, like, that's newer, maybe. Like, I just feel like that's a bad strategy, is to, like, just leave all the people there that you know. Like, I feel like leaving the baby army, at least you know one is safe. I don't think that they would ever make it that easy.
You can end the game now, but if the majority has doubt, the game will continue. So raise your hand if you wish to continue the game.
Yeah, absolutely have to. Yeah, you have to continue.
I mean, I was able to get some indication with the last 2 seconds of the game.
Okay.
So if I go Tony Montana,
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what that is.
I know what you mean by that.
exactly, that's where my delineation of, all right. Now, my fear is he might be a baby army, or again,
I fully admitted to
that's my fear. of
like joining us in
this.
February.
You gotta know Lachimolala, Tony Montana. These are just inside jokes every army knows.
But that's not, again, yeah, okay, so if you're long-term, maybe, but if you're baby army, you wouldn't know all of these things. Like, I don't know all of those things. But, like, you're kicking off the people that I think are... If you've ever seen this show, I'm telling you guys, you gotta watch this show. If you've ever seen this show, it's not easy. Like, it is never the person that, like, you're like, oh yeah, that's the person. So, like, if you're just kicking off the ones that make it too obvious, they do a really, really good job of finding real actors to be able to go through this and blend in. I just feel like that's completely wrong.
I had no idea. I'm sorry if I'm uncultured. I will fix that after this.
I know most of the YouTube videos, which is why I'm actually confused as to why I don't know that. But, I mean, if I have to whip it out, I will. I literally have a tattoo of my bias on my ankle.
Please show us.
You're joking. V.
Where?
And my best friend has one of J in the same place for Jimin.
Can that be for V or can that be for something else? I don't know.
It's
That
true.
could be like a janky Nike swish. That could be a whole lot of things. I don't know.
So you said you got into them since February of this year.
Yes.
What albums have you listened to?
I mean, pretty much all of them. I'd say my favorite one is probably Speak Yourself, because that's like what got me into them.
They don't have an album that's named Speak Yourself. It's Love Yourself. So you love this new album, this past album. What B-side do you like from that album?
Oh my God, B-side? Are
Like, that's
Not,
not
like
the
not a title track. Like not Boy With Love.
Oh, okay. Home. Home's my favorite.
I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't a huge fan of the last album. I wasn't.
I wasn't either, but I like Boy With Love.
I thought I wasn't, and then I gave it another listen over. I was like,
I feel like she's too obvious. I feel like she doesn't know because she's baby, and maybe she's playing up like how much of a fan that she is because she wanted to fit in. But I don't think it's her. I really don't think it's her.
what am I talking about?
Everyone was you and started asking me, and I was all like, I literally forgot
voted,
everything. Like, you don't.
We want to get anybody who has any type of suspect feeling out, because I trust my gut.
Yeah, she's gone.
I just seriously thought that there's no way this dude could be a BTS.
I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep right now. Why's they gotta be so mean? You know what? That actually makes me question it too. So here's the thing. BTS Army has been so open and like accepting of people of all different ages. Like so many Army members, like 50, 60, 70 years old. Like I get comments all the time from older members. So it's like, I'm almost like starting to suspect like people that are like being really, really hard on like the stereotypical BTS fan and what they're like, if that makes sense. Because why would you be so rough? Like if you're truly Army, isn't the whole point of like accepting and wanting as many people to love them as possible? So like I'm kind of like, maybe it's you.
BTS fans.
Yeah, we knew she was gone. We knew she was gone.
Y'all made me expose my tattoo just to call me fake. That's so messed up.
Okay, so you said you were borderline.
Yeah, I'm borderline.
Why?
Because I just started in like 2017, and I guess because my like obsessive K-pop phase is behind me. Because I started getting into K-pop at like 2010.
I feel like when you are in Army, you are proud to represent, so you don't just say, I'm iffy about it.
Okay.
But these aren't, okay, so the title of the episode specifically says BTS fans versus one secret hater. And when they asked the original question at the beginning, they said, who's Army and who's just a fan? And the fans just came out and said, like, look, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm Army, but I'm a fan of them. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They were very, very upfront. It didn't say 6 BTS Armies and one secret hater. I feel like they're kicking out the wrong people.
Okay, I was knee deep in the YouTube world, and I was so obsessed with BTS. So I decided to apply to the airport because I knew that they fly through the airport.
To work at the airport?
Yeah. I actually got a job at LAX just to see BTS. I know, tragic.
How did you guys feel about the
That's
Be
a
Free
good story.
commentary?
Years ago.
Where he calls them girls and
Yeah,
tells them.
that whole thing with the rap community and attacking them.
let's be honest, for the most part, even the Korean hip hop community, or especially the idol community, some of the worst cultural appropriators you'll ever meet in the world.
Oh, yeah, true.
Let's be honest. I mean, but at the same time, you have to understand,
True.
it's a country of, like, it's a homogenous country.
The question I asked, it was like deflected. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to keep this going a bit. The cultural appropriation is one thing, but it's more so how like the rap community made them feel like other. That's what I kind of like talking about more.
Because again, they're superficially just taking what they think hip hop is.
I feel like when they first started out.
I mean, to be fair, he at least knew what it was. The girl in the yellow shirt hasn't said anything on this. But he's like also making he was the first one to say like the rap thing. I don't know. Whoever it is gonna be really good, but I don't think it's the babies. I really don't.
There was just this like adamant like I want to be this alpha male. I want to be this. No. Like it wasn't.
It's almost
authentic.
like that anger in him.
You know, that was back when he had the perm, but we're not gonna speak about that.
he doesn't want to speak about that. So let's just.
Like the glow up was it's just been immaculate with them.
Yeah.
So.
I mean.
She was so vocal in the first 2 rounds, but then in the 3rd round, when we were getting really deep, she was crickets. I was like,
Tay seemed to know a little.
But again, they're not gonna bring somebody on the show that doesn't know anything about them, even if they don't like them. You could be a hater and still know a lot about them. In fact, a lot of their haters, like, you'd be surprised at how much information they know about them, which is always funny to me. Like, if you're gonna be a hater, but you're gonna spend that much time and energy, like, learning about them and talking about them and going around and commenting and hating on them, doesn't that almost make you like a secret fan at that point?
A little bit too much, too many like official things, textbook kind of things.
Well, that was close.
Sorry.
Bye.
I can get on board with them saying, okay, let's vote this guy out because he's like, it's too like to the book, more like it would be something that you'd read in an article to know about the big things that have happened with BTS. But I don't agree with them like hating on him because of like his looks and because of the way he is. Because I just don't think that that's the way the army is.
Raise your hand if you have any doubts that the mole might still be in the square and you'd like to continue the game.
Oh shit! What happens now?
I feel like they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think one is still there. I think one is still there because if they don't get voted out, I think it might be one of these two that's left. Because if they don't get voted out, they win, right? So ultimately, you need them to not vote and get through. So I think it's either purple shirt or white shirt girl. I think so.
Yeah, because I have one doubt.
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
It's like,
One of you two has to decide. If you guys have any doubt, we continue the game.
Let's continue.
okay.
Let's do it. I guess I
I don't know. I think it's her purple shirt. Or maybe it's like they're really, really smart and they're like, okay, we got to vote here because or else I'm going to get voted off. I don't know.
started realizing you could still be a K-pop fan, but
Yes!
not be a BTS fan. Okay.
Yes. That's exactly what I was saying, is that somebody here could know all about them and still not like them. Thank you. All right, I'm starting to not spit. Maybe purple shirt.
My doubt was Mika, to be honest.
My doubt is you.
Because you had no idea when I said Lajimolala. You gave this blank stare.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like she could be like a multi that doesn't multi BTS at all. But
I feel like
she
you were
just
saying a
knows
lot
about
of
them.
textbook things.
Textbook
Especially
things.
when we started getting into the Be Free thing, you immediately started about cultural appropriation. I'm like, okay, that's kind of not on topic because that's something that's evident in all of K-pop. Like, that's another conversation. We could talk about that
What's
later.
your favorite V-Live episode?
I'm trying to think back to when he did the album review. Crap. See,
Okay,
now I'm brain farting,
what's your
so-
favorite Run BTS episode?
Run
If you
Or
have
Army Bomb.
If I have one.
Or Army Bomb.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've seen every Army Bomb, but my favorite Run BTS, probably when they were in the sauna, about what was that, 5-6 episodes ago?
I don't remember that. A lot of our fandom knows and loves these videos. We talk about them all the time.
But here's okay. Is somebody like so these guys are supposed to be here like and he's been here for a while. As somebody who's new that hasn't seen like they have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of episodes. Even if you've seen a ton of episodes, I think there's different levels of like people that consider themselves ARMY. So like I don't necessarily know that you'd like have one off the top of your head in that moment. I don't know. Like, I don't know enough to know that. But at the same point in time, I don't think it's right to just like kick them out for that. But the other thing is they're not showing it and maybe they talk about it and they're just not showing it or airing it. But like a lot of these people that are asking these hard questions aren't answering the questions themselves. So it's almost like, is it you?
It was like, I was like, okay, there's so many, just choose one. Like, one was when they went to Six Flags in Texas, and Hobie was on one fucking roller coaster, I don't remember. The other one was when they got scared and they were supposed to go to the zoo, but then they ended up getting scared by zombies.
You hate to see it.
Now do we feel confident?
This game is so hard, you don't know who the mole is. It could be anyone. And the only person you can be 100% sure of is yourself, whether you're the mole or ARMY. That's all you can be.
I still think it might be her because like she didn't vote last time and he voted like if he didn't want it to go on, if he hadn't had voted last time, he would have won because they wouldn't have caught him. So, but he voted with her, and they're not taking that into consideration. Like, I'm almost wondering, because she's like trying to push this through. I'm almost wondering if it's still her, the girl in the white shirt.
If the lights around you turn red, the mole is still in the square and you lose.
My
If the
Lord
lights around
Jimin.
you turn green, you have successfully voted the mole out.
I really hope it's still there. I hope the mole wins.
My Lord Jimin, please.
I hope
come
they didn't
down.
make it too easy. Ah, they did!
That's what I'm talking about.
Who was it, though? I hope it wasn't the old guy. That was just too
I'm
obvious.
happy that we won.
Maybe it was
so happy. Like, there's no other way. We know who's not Army. Like, we can sense it. We can feel it in our bones.
Who was it, though?
Mole wishes to reveal themselves, they can step into the square.
No, now I feel super betrayed. She walked in like, oh, Black Army, Black Army. Girl.
I am not a BTS fan. I'm an EXO fan.
The
There
one
we
thing that I
go.
wasn't surprised about was that she is an EXO fan. Who's your group?
EXO.
I knew it was gonna be EXO-L. I knew.
Okay, so a couple things. She was, I think, the least obvious, though. I think that they kind of voted her just because she was kind of quiet in that one. Like, she was really, really talkative in the first 2 rounds, and then she got quiet. I feel like they got lucky with her. Because the other 2, they voted because they're like, oh, they don't know enough. And, like, that would have been way too obvious. And then the guy that they just voted. So I guess I can get on board with, that, though.
I knew it was gonna be EXO-L.
What up?
Yeah, the K-pop fandom is definitely pretty vicious towards each other, and I think especially after today, I think it's just silly. Everyone was super nice. Really, we're no different. We just like different groups, and it's dumb to fight over something as trivial as that.
BTS fans come in all different shapes and
Thank
sizes,
you.
and ages and genders,
Thank
and
you.
races. It's just a beautiful fandom.
Trinity, I got your back, girl. If anyone wants to fight, they gotta talk to me first, okay?
Do you have any last words to other BTS fans?
Let's just keep supporting the boys. I believe their message is worth getting out to the world. One day, if everyone could be Army, it'd be a better world.
사랑해.
First time in Odd Man Out history.
They did it.
To catch
You
the
did
Wow.
it,
My
BTS
God.
Army. Do not hate on the mole. Try not to.
Don't hate.
Wait, it was the first time that they caught the mole. That's crazy. And I feel like it was a very accidental catch. Like, I don't feel like they caught her up in anything. She just didn't talk that round. I don't feel like that they caught her up in saying anything, though, like they did with the other ones where like they kind of tricked them into it, or they did with Tay when they voted him out.
Meditate.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Because this episode is actually brought to you by Simple Habit.
They have easy to use.
All right, well, we don't need to do that. So, all right. That was a lot of fun. I couldn't believe I was sitting at work and my wife texts me, and it's just a video. It just says 6 BTS fans versus 1 secret hater. I'm like, wait, what's this? And she's like, oh my God, it's a Jubilee episode. She's like, you have to do this week. So that's what we're gonna be doing. Thank you all so much. Just a quick update for you all. Basically what we're actually gonna be doing now was, instead of hiring a video editor, my wife has always been very, very involved in the channel. As most of you know from the live streams, if you've been in the live streams, she is our moderator. She's been moderating our channel between this and Twitch, and has been so helpful out with all the social media stuff over the last year and a half. And so instead of paying all kinds of money for an editor, we decided that we were going to pay money, and we were going to hire a babysitter and a nanny a couple days a week. And she's been actually taking classes in Premiere. So like, she's actually going to be, at this point, she's probably a way better editor already than I am. But we're going to be moving over to that. And so she's going to start editing these videos for you guys moving soon. And then I'm super excited because, again, mid next month, we're going to have a lot of really, really cool changes that I know that you guys are going to love. So stay tuned for all of that. I definitely missed you all. Thank you all so much. If you haven't already, please go like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you know when our videos come out, so you know when we go live. If nobody told you they love you today, don't forget, I love you. You are appreciated, and you're always welcome here in this channel. And last but certainly not least, it was a great day to play. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.